Imagine your arteries as smooth, flexible roads where blood flows freely, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every organ and system in your body. Over time, due to unhealthy habits, tiny particles like oxidized cholesterol, deposits of bad fats, and inflammatory cells build up on the walls of our blood vessels. These form plaques that harden, stiffen, and even narrow the pathways for blood. This silent process is called atherosclerosis, and it sets the stage for many cardiovascular diseases such as heart attacks, strokes, and blocked arteries, which can sometimes lead to amputations of the lower limbs. The good news is that the foods we eat daily can be powerful allies in protecting our blood vessels, acting like cleaners, shields, and guardians for our vascular system, if we make smart choices. In today's video, we'll explore the best foods, especially those backed by scientific research, that help keep our cardiovascular system healthy, maintaining our arteries young, flexible, and unobstructed, and preventing diseases like atherosclerosis and its various consequences, including strokes, heart attacks, and blocked leg arteries, all in a delicious and accessible way. I'm Dr. Antônio Celi, a specialist in vascular surgery and angiology. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Subscribe because the editor keeps reminding me we need to reach 1 million subscribers by the end of this year. And if you want access to more detailed videos, full-length content without ads, you can join the Diamond membership tier for less than $5. Just click the Become a Member button right below, and don't forget about our physical book, SOS Poor Circulation and Thrombosis, available now on Mercado Libre, Amazon, and major bookstores. I guarantee it's helping many people. It's knowledge gathered over years, presented in a clear and accessible way, and it will be very useful for you. Now, let's start today's topic with a healthy fat: extra virgin olive oil. According to many nutritionists, this oil is almost like liquid gold for our heart. In some sun-drenched villages along the Mediterranean Sea, olive oil is more than just a local ingredient. It's a way of life. It's rich in monounsaturated fats, polyphenols, and antioxidants. These compounds help protect our arteries in multiple ways. These healthy fats don't raise LDL, the bad cholesterol. Moreover, the natural fats from olives contain phenolic compounds that reduce vascular inflammation and prevent the oxidation of LDL, unlike saturated fats, which promote further oxidation of cholesterol. In fact, studies have shown that this isn't just a theory. There's a recent clinical trial comparing olive oil and butter. Some volunteers were placed on diets supplemented with either extra virgin olive oil or butter. The results were quite clear. This study, along with others I'll mention in the video, will be linked in the description if you want to explore further. These studies showed that those who consumed butter experienced a significant increase in total cholesterol and LDL levels. Meanwhile, those who used olive oil maintained well-controlled blood lipid profiles. Additionally, only olive oil led to reductions in blood pressure. Alongside improvements in lipid profiles, the blood pressure of these volunteers dropped by 4 mmHg in systolic pressure over 24 hours, while the butter group did not see this benefit. This blood pressure improvement has been well documented. One of the largest nutrition clinical trials ever conducted, known as pre-dimed, if I'm not mistaken, which you'll find linked in the description, followed thousands of people at high cardiovascular risk for years. Participants who adopted a Mediterranean diet rich in extra virgin olive oil experienced about 30% fewer heart attacks, strokes, blocked leg arteries, and cardiovascular deaths compared to those following a diet with a less regulated fat profile. In other words, for every 10 cardiac events on a standard diet, only 7 occurred among those protected by olive oil and a healthy lifestyle. This strong effect comes from the combination of various cardiovascular benefits provided by olive oil, including the improvement of the blood lipid profile. We see an increase in HDL, the good cholesterol, a reduction in inflammation in the blood vessel walls, and an improvement in endothelial function, the innermost layer of blood vessels that releases nitric oxide, a powerful natural vasodilator. So when we consume extra virgin olive oil, especially a high-quality one, we introduce antioxidant molecules into our body, such as hydroxytyrosol. This directly acts on our endothelium, stimulating the production of nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and widens arteries, enhancing the delivery of oxygen and nutrients. That's why it's no exaggeration to say olive oil is a heart's best friend. It literally helps arteries breathe better, counteracting the harmful effects of saturated fats we often find in our daily diet. To put it simply for you, when you dress your salad with olive oil instead of creamy dressings, butter, or other processed items, you're nourishing your arteries with a daily dose of health. It's worth highlighting that other foods rich in monounsaturated fats offer similar benefits. For example, avocado can be seen as the tropical cousin of olive oil. Olive oil is typical of the Mediterranean region in Europe. Avocado is native to our tropical areas, from Mexico and other parts of Central America. Numerous studies have shown that eating an avocado a day helps improve blood lipid profiles, just like olive oil does. We see similar benefits, such as lowering LDL and improving blood fat profiles, including triglycerides. Adding a slice of avocado to your diet or including other vegetables with healthy fats like nuts is important. Avocado, nuts, and olive oil are all allies that provide quality fats. These fats can positively influence our blood test results, so to speak. They enhance our nutritional profile and protect our arteries. There's still a lot of valuable information to share in this video, but I want to give you 2 quick notices. I promise to keep it brief so I don't disrupt your flow. The first notice is that in the description of this video, there are some useful links. One of these is for SOS Poor Circulation and Thrombosis, our advanced program for fighting cardiovascular diseases. One more note in the description of this video. We have 2 incredibly important ebooks for you. Ebooks are electronic books. One of them offers 10 practical tips on how to fight blood clots and clogged veins. The other focuses on poor circulation through your diet, demonstrating how what you eat every single day can be the key to achieving greater longevity and better quality of life. At the end of this video, be sure to check the description below for our advanced program, our 2 ebooks, and don't forget about our physical book, SOS Poor Circulation and Thrombosis, which is available on Mercado Libre and Amazon. Now, let's get back to today's topic so we can keep our train of thought. From deep waters comes one of the most powerful shields against atherosclerosis, omega-3, which is abundant in certain fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, tuna, and mackerel. All these fish are rich in omega-3, a type of polyunsaturated fat with strong anti-inflammatory and anti-atherogenic properties that fight atherosclerosis, which is the hardening and stiffening of our arteries. When we regularly consume these fish or even omega-3 in supplement form, we incorporate beneficial fats into the membranes of our cells, including those in our arteries. This reduces the release of inflammatory substances and makes our blood more fluid, with less tendency to form clots. The impact of this on vascular health has been confirmed by numerous studies. There are clinical trials and meta-analyses, all pointing in the same direction. Many of these are listed here in the description, along with various papers I cite. If you want to dive deeper, check out the description at the end of the video and explore further there. But it's unanimous. These studies show that by eating fish regularly or using supplements, we see a significant reduction in cardiovascular events. A major meta-analysis that combined 40 prospective studies found that people who frequently consumed these fish had lower rates of coronary disease. On average, a high fish intake is associated with a 15% reduction in deaths from heart disease. Just about 2 servings a week, around 150 to 200 grams each time, twice a week, is enough for you to start noticing these benefits. This reduction in heart attacks and cardiac mortality is already evident. Moreover, numerous controlled studies have demonstrated that a diet rich in omega-3 from fish lowers blood triglycerides and raises HDL, the good cholesterol that protects our bloodstream. There is an extensive review and several studies indicating that including fatty fish in our diet improves both triglyceride and cholesterol levels. However, the protective effects of fish go far beyond just cholesterol numbers. They profoundly impact arterial biology. When comparing people who consume a lot of omega-3 with those who eat large amounts of red meat, researchers have found striking differences in cardiovascular health. A study involving thousands of participants from the UK Biobank showed that self-reported consumption of red and processed meats was directly associated with poorer heart and artery health. Imaging tests revealed stiffer hearts with reduced dilation and impaired function. Additionally, arteries were less elastic. In contrast, individuals who ate more fish exhibited signs of healthier, more flexible hearts and blood vessels. To put it simply, the arteries of those who overconsume fatty meats, processed meats, and ultra-processed foods tend to become hardened, stiffened, and narrowed. Meanwhile, people who follow a more natural diet with healthy fats, such as fish, omega-3s, and even olive oil, demonstrate greater arterial flexibility. Their blood vessels can dilate and contract more effectively, adapting to blood flow needs. This reflects the long-term effects of different nutrients. While omega-3 fatty acids from fish and healthy fats reduce vascular inflammation and protect the endothelium, red meats, especially processed varieties like bacon, sausage, salami, and other cold cuts, contain not only saturated fats, but also artificial additives and excess sodium that promote atherosclerosis, damaging cardiovascular health. For example, red meats are high in carnitine, a molecule favored by our gut bacteria. These bacteria convert it into TMAO, or trimethylamine N-oxide. High levels of this substance have a direct toxic effect on the arteries, contributing to the buildup of atheroma plaques. In fact, when we eat a lot of meat, we see an increase in TMAO levels in the blood, which accelerates cholesterol deposits in the blood vessel walls and raises inflammation in the arteries. Fish, on the other hand, do not produce this harmful byproduct and instead provide omega-3 fatty acids, which can even help reduce inflammation in the blood vessels. If you directly compare grilled salmon to a cheeseburger with sausage and mayonnaise, it's clear that one is much healthier than the other. Salmon delivers EPA and DHA, 2 types of omega-3 that integrate into our cells, support our bodies, reduce the production of inflammatory cytokines, and can even stabilize existing atheroma plaques, making them less likely to rupture and cause blood clots. Sausages, for example, in the cheeseburger example, are high in saturated fat and contain salt, nitrites, and artificial preservatives to extend their shelf life. This oxidative stress promotes cholesterol buildup. It's no coincidence that large-scale epidemiological studies consistently show that people who consume a lot of processed foods have a significantly higher risk of heart disease. Meanwhile, those who eat more natural, minimally processed foods tend to have a much lower risk of cardiovascular disease. A review of the literature shows that for every 100 grams of processed red meat consumed daily, cardiovascular risk increases significantly. In contrast, consuming 100 grams of fish daily reduces cardiovascular risk. Of course, we're not suggesting you eat these amounts every day, but I want to illustrate how these two choices lead in opposite directions. And if we also consider natural options, right? Nuts, seeds, almonds, pistachios, and other healthy fats are a great strategy, as these foods are true powerhouses of heart-protective nutrients. Despite being somewhat calorie-dense, these plants, vegetables, and nuts are packed with healthy fats, mainly monounsaturated fats, along with plant-based proteins, soluble fibers, vitamins like vitamin E, and minerals such as magnesium and potassium, as well as phytochemicals and antioxidants. When consumed in moderation daily, as part of a healthy lifestyle, these foods offer a range of benefits for our cardiovascular system. There is a comprehensive meta-analysis of several prospective studies showing that just 30 grams of nuts per day, which is about a handful, can reduce the risk of coronary heart disease by 29% and lower the risk of overall cardiovascular diseases, including strokes and peripheral artery disease, by about 21%. So, a daily handful of nuts like pecans or similar varieties can reduce your chance of having a heart attack by nearly a third. Of course, this is within the context of a healthy lifestyle. Snacking on nuts won't compensate if you're smoking a cigarette. Please don't do that. Multiple clinical studies have demonstrated that adding walnuts, almonds, and other nuts to the diet instead of refined carbohydrates or fatty snacks helps reduce LDL cholesterol. The predictive study I mentioned earlier found that one group who consistently included a mix of nuts daily, walnuts, almonds, and hazelnuts among them, showed better results in follow-up analyses. Researchers observed a reduction in blood fat particles, specifically VLDL, which is very low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, the smaller type of cholesterol that more readily sticks to artery walls. But nuts don't just affect cholesterol. They also contribute positively to endothelial function and reduce vascular inflammation. Part of this effect comes from the arginine content, an amino acid abundant in walnuts, peanuts, and almonds. Arginine is a precursor to nitric oxide, a molecule released by endothelial cells, the innermost layer of our blood vessels. Nitric oxide acts as a signaling molecule that tells arteries to relax, making it easier for oxygen and nutrients to flow through. With more available arginine, the arteries produce more nitric oxide, leading to vasodilation and better controlled blood pressure. Additionally, nuts have an anti-inflammatory effect throughout the body. Being rich in mono and polyunsaturated fats, they reduce the proportion of inflammatory fatty acids, such as arachidonic omega-6, in our cell membranes. Over time, this tends to lower the production of cytokines and inflammatory markers. Several studies have shown that small reductions in C-reactive protein, known as CRP, and inflammatory cytokines occur only in those who regularly consume these plant-based foods, especially when compared to groups following diets high in refined carbohydrates, refined flours, and other sources of less healthy fats. This also suggests that nuts help soothe the biochemical environment that promotes atherosclerosis. It's no surprise that a diet rich in fruits and vegetables is also linked to better cardiovascular health. Many epidemiological studies support this. A systematic review of 95 studies estimated that for every 200 grams of fruits and vegetables consumed daily, the risk of coronary disease drops by about 8%. Those who consume around 800 grams a day, equivalent to roughly 5 to 10 servings depending on fruit size, see similar rates of heart attacks and strokes, indicating a plateau of benefit around the 5th daily serving. So, overdoing it doesn't provide much extra advantage either. Consuming about 5 servings of vegetables and fruits daily already shows a significant reduction in cardiovascular mortality, but increasing beyond that doesn't yield proportionally greater benefits. However, each additional serving does add a dose-dependent benefit. Practically speaking, this means that filling your plate with a variety of vegetables and eating fruits every day will literally save your life over the long term. But this doesn't mean eating only those foods or excessive amounts will make you immortal. We significantly reduce the chances of artery blockage and fatal events, especially when consuming red fruits like strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, and grapes. Citrus fruits are truly fascinating, including oranges and lemons, as well as purple grapes, pomegranates, and even apples. All of these fruits are loaded with antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compounds. Among their components, we find flavonoids, anthocyanins, which are natural pigments, resveratrol, quercetin, vitamin C, carotenoids, which are precursors to vitamin A, and many other healthful phytochemicals, along with soluble fibers. These fibers are found, for example, in the pulp of apples, in vegetables like carrots, also in orange pulp, and in oats. Although a cereal, oats fit well here among the vegetables. These fibers act like sponges in our intestines. They trap and absorb cholesterol together with bile acids that our body produces from cholesterol, eliminating the excess through our stool. The practical effect is that without an increase in blood lipids, we gain better control over our fat profile. That is, our cholesterol and triglycerides become more balanced. This happens because by expelling bile acids bound to the fibers, we reduce the excess fats in our bloodstream. Additionally, when fibers ferment in our large intestine or colon by beneficial bacteria, they produce short-chain fatty acids. These acids have systemic anti-inflammatory effects and can improve insulin sensitivity, which indirectly benefits our arteries by lowering blood sugar levels. To put it more simply, biting into an apple or savoring a pear, the fibers present help sweep excess cholesterol from your blood and feed the good bacteria in your gut, which thankfully work to support your vascular health. To sum up this somewhat complex information, by mainly filling your plate with these types of foods, you're essentially practicing daily preventive medicine, nourishing your arteries with beneficial elements so they remain clear and flexible over time. Every meal is an opportunity to care for your body at a cellular, almost microscopic level, supporting your cardiovascular health. When we choose the best fuel to maintain a car, we naturally prioritize higher quality fuel, right? Our cardiovascular system is powered by food, so everything we eat is the gasoline that keeps our body running. If you put low-quality fuel into your body, your engine, your heart, is likely to wear out a bit sooner. In a moment, a card will pop up that will take you to a video to help you properly care for your circulation. But before that, I want to share a few quick messages. If you learn a lot of important information from this video today, it might even be better than a medical consultation you've had, where you paid but didn't receive that level of quality information and detail. I invite you to support our channel. One way to do that is by becoming a member for less than $5 by clicking the button below that says, Become a Member. You'll gain access to our subscriber-only area with exclusive content, ad-free, in-depth videos, and access to our book. Not only do you help our social projects, but you also bring quality knowledge into your own home. If you prefer, you can make a one-time contribution through the Pix key in the description of this video. This way, alongside each screen, we help many people with poor circulation who need dressings for vascular wounds and those waiting in line for surgery due to clogged veins. And never forget, prevention is the best medicine for any ailment, including poor circulation. The smartest way to deal with a problem is to address it before it happens. Without health, we can't do anything. It's our most valuable asset. We can't travel. We can't enjoy life. We can't work. We simply can't do anything. To truly help you take care of your cardiovascular health, we are here to help you fight poor circulation and thrombosis the right way, just as it should be done. So don't miss out. A card will pop up here to take you to a fantastic video with practical tips on how you can care for your circulation health. I'll be waiting for you there.